Hi guys, this video has been recorded in English but is available in multiple languages. You can go choose your favorite language from the bottom right. This option is both available on desktop as well as mobile. I feel that people were giving this phone unnecessary hate before launch because I personally quite like the design of the 3A Pro. Now the 3A is an incremental, more like an evolutionary upgrade to the already popular 2A series, and this time around you get to see some impressive upgrades not only in the design but on what is inside. I absolutely love this new blue color. It also looks like the iGyaan blue, and I'm generally a fan of blue in general, so this one appeals to me the most. They've improved on a few things that we criticized in our previous video, which was the fact that all their boxes had to be destroyed at the time of unboxing, and they fixed that by giving a new style of unboxing. So let's quickly check that out. Now at the outset, these phones look similar to what we've seen in the past as far as the 2A series is concerned, and this is basically their more affordable lineup of devices, and this time around the A series has been launched before the actual flagship phone. So the Nothing Phone 3 is expected in the summer, but the 3A series has been launched much before that. That goes to show that the 2A was a rather popular device in India, especially because this is primarily targeted towards the Indian audience. So you get 3 colors in the standard 3A, and you get 2 colors in the Pro variant as well. So I actually like this gray color, and they've not gone into any special color naming process. So basically you get a blue, white and a black, and then you get a gray and a black. Now the primary difference between the two devices is going to be the cameras. So if you want better camera and optics, you would go for the 3A Pro. But if you don't really care for that, the 3A in itself is exactly the same as the other device. What is also improved is the build quality. You still get the polycarbonate frame around the device, but now the back has glass instead of polycarbonate, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. I like the fact that the previous phone was polycarbonate, made it really resilient and durable. This time around you get Panda Glass, which may or may not give you that kind of resilience. We'll have to see over a period of time. Also, the fact that Nothing doesn't officially sell any cases is a little bit of a letdown, and I think that my criticism for them should be that they should have official accessories available for these devices so that they can set a benchmark for what cases and accessories should look like. There is also IP64 rating across the devices, which is appreciated, and you also see improvements in terms of brightness and overall nits on these devices. So let's quickly talk about the specifications of the phones. So the display is a 6.77-inch flexible AMOLED display, and it has Panda Glass on top of it with a 2392 by 1080 pixel resolution. You get 120 Hz of adaptive refresh rate, a 480 Hz of touch sampling in standard mode, and you get 1000 Hz of touch sampling during game mode. You also have 3000 nits of peak brightness. Now this is obviously overclocked, and then you have 1300 nits of outdoor brightness, and then you do have 800 nits of standard top brightness. So indoors at maximum you'll get 800 nits. If you're outdoors, if it detects that sun, you'll get 1300 nits, and peak 1 percentile will be 3000 nits, which is really impressive for a device in this price bracket. Now, speaking of the price, you can check out the prices in the description below. And also we'll have links to buying this device once it goes on sale. And you do have some offers which will help you save some money additionally on these devices. But bear in mind that even the Pro will be under 30,000 rupees. So their entire lineup will fall between 20 to 30,000 rupees. So here's where India is left behind. You only get two variants, 8128 and 8256. The 12256 is not designed or possibly not going to be available in India, but that may change as things progress. So as of now, we'll get the 8128 and 8256 on both variants, whether you get the 3A or the 3A Pro. What is also improved is the charging speed a little bit. So you get 50 watts of charging instead of the 45 originally. And then you also get a 5000 milliamp hour battery in there. And this time around, of course, you get Snapdragon, which is the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. Snapdragon in itself was something that a lot of people demanded from Nothing, and they've delivered on the Nothing 3A. Now, performance-wise, we tested these devices for a few weeks and they seem to hold out on their own. And here are a few benchmark numbers that you can check out. Now, Nothing is constantly improving their operating system and their skin on top of the Android OS. And this time around, they've brought some basic improvements to that, but also they've added an extra button on the side, which is like an action button, but they call it the Essential Space key. And once you double click on it, it shows you the Essential Space. Now, this is a very interesting concept, and once they fully push it out, it will become a really useful tool for productivity. Now, what you can do is take a screenshot of something, take a voice note and say that, okay, I want to remember to go to this event. And so it'll take that information, capture it, translate your audio, turn it into text, capture the date from the image and create a reminder. So it'll do all of those things. So this will make all your memories and all your AI things come into one place. And once it does fully push out, this will become a really useful tool for a lot of people. Right now it's in beta and it is still being developed, but I feel that a dedicated button may not have been ideal for it, but they have given it, and this button is not going to be mappable. People will not be able to change it. So it'll stick to Essential Spaces. They really want to build on this, and we might see an Essential Space key on the Nothing Phone 3 as well, simply because this is their AI play. They want to use this as the push for AI, as most other manufacturers are doing. Now, the back design of the phone remains similar, but if you look closely, it looks like the face has evolved a little bit, and you can actually see the full body. Below it, it looks like somebody's leaning against the wall, and it kind of looks nice. I kind of like the design on the back. And overall, it's a pretty interesting design, whatever said and done. And the fact that they've used glass now makes it feel a lot more premium. The reflections in the light make it feel a lot more premium. You still have the Glyph interface. It's still the small Glyph interface, not the full one that you see on the full phone. This continues to be a more affordable Nothing phone, and simply because the Glyph is smaller shows that this phone is an affordable device. The Glyph functionality remains more or less the same. You can customize it. You can also have it enabled for things like food delivery and an Uber ride. So it does do a countdown and a timer. So those things remain the same. There's not a lot of play on the Glyph this time around, and more on the AI bit of the device. Let's talk about the cameras now. The two phones have considerably different cameras, although specs wise they are pretty similar. So on the Pro, you have the main camera as the 50 megapixel Samsung sensor, whereas the telephoto and the ultra wide are both Sony sensors. The telephoto is a 50 megapixel 3x telephoto, and then you do have an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, which is also a Sony sensor. And then on the front, you also have a 50 megapixel Samsung sensor, which is going to be your selfie camera. So on the standard 3A, you get two 50 megapixel Samsung sensors. The main is a 50 megapixel and the telephoto is a 2x 50 megapixel sensor. And then you do have the same 8 megapixel ultra wide Sony sensor, and on the front you do get a 32 megapixel Samsung sensor. Now you can do a 4x in camera zoom, so which is a optical lossless zoom where they cut into the pixels to give you a lossless zoom, whereas in this you get a 3x as a standard and then a 6x as an optical in sensor, which is fantastic. Now the 3A Pro is going to be something that we're going to be testing in our full review more because of the camera capabilities, but our full review of these devices should be out in a couple of days. But here are some samples that we clicked with the 3A Pro to show you what the camera is capable of. The zoom on this is pretty impressive, and even if you go into an ultra zoom, It uses AI algorithms to improve the image considerably to give you a cleaner, sharper image. And of course, video is a little bit of a limitation, which it is capped at 4K at 30 frames per second. Now, overall, these phones are a considerable improvement over the previous generation, not only in terms of build quality, the IP64 rating, the improvements in the box design, and then the fact that you have glass on the back along with Qualcomm Snapdragon on the inside. And of course, you have the essential key, which will allow you to use AI in a better, more refined way, not basically confusing you on what you can and cannot do. Of course, you do get the standard AI features as well. So there are a lot of devices that people get to choose from, which is good and also bad because it confuses the consumer a little bit. But I feel that they've taken a step in the right direction as far as the devices are concerned. The color choices are impressive. I really love the blue. I loved it on the previous generation as well, and I love it on this generation. So if I was to pick, I would pick the blue, the non-Pro for now, but I do like the design of the Pro. And if you're somebody who's picking up it, if you're somebody who's more interested in the camera capabilities, then you definitely want to pick the Pro. Our full reviews will be out in a couple of days. If you want us to emphasize on anything specific, let us know in the comment section below. And this will be Bharat. You've been watching iGyaan. Hit like, hit subscribe if you've not already done that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.